Hello, 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 hello to my lovely subscribers. Kisses to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for checking to make sure that you were subscribed, because all of a sudden, like, my numbers started going up when I asked you guys to subscribe. So I said, well, shoot, I'm going to say it every time. That way, you know, until I get my 3,000. I don't know how. Okay, check this out, guys. You know how you're like, you're satisfied with the number, but then when you get close to a different number, you're like, I don't want to be at that number anymore. Like, I don't want to be at 2,000 anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. And yes, my nails look horrible. Let me see if I can do something about them just a moment. The only thing I can do is just keep my hands down at this point. And I talk with my hands sometimes. So it is what it is. But no, enough about that. Kisses to all of you. Thank you for your lovely thoughts, your comments, your kind words. Thank you for hitting like, and thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now, where I'm at with this situation, I got my beer, my drink, with Meghan, is where she's at with that. And I really feel like her biggest concern, her biggest target is her brand and how she's looking in the media, how she's being portrayed, and how hard she thinks she's working on her popularity. Like, she's doing everything that she possibly can. This is what I think. These are my thoughts, my assumptions, and I don't know anything about Meghan. Personally, on a personal note, all I do know is that how I would be feeling. But, you know, I don't know if she feels the same way. But I would be feeling defeated. I would be feeling like, oh my goodness, here we go again. I'm the joke. But I think she cares more about it than anyone else does, because she's trying so hard. She's been trying so very, very hard to prove to us that her and Harry are, like, still in love and are happily married husband and wife. And I don't believe that. I'm switching it. I'm going down a different path. I do believe that they went on this vacation thing to work on their marriage, to take a break from all the hard work that they think they have done. Because contrary to Family Guy, Meghan and Harry really do believe that they have been working extremely hard at their popularity, especially with the charity, because they think that that's the way to win the heart of the people, is to do charity work. But that's nice and dandy in a sense that it's helping the charity out, I hope, but it's doing nothing for their popularity, because the word on the street is out. And I'm going to explain, like I do every day, all my videos, on why she is no longer in a thought of. No longer, she's thought of, but she is no longer considered this wonderful, graceful, humanitarian, loving daughter, loving sister-in-law, loving anything to anyone. And the verdict is out. And even though people, like, certain channels get on, and I know normally I don't talk about other channels, but here I go. Meghan doesn't, like, and I know I'm saying something that Kinsley said. Anyway, Meghan doesn't need anything else dug up about her that's going to show that she is not this nice person. She has enough in her repertoire for us to last us a lifetime, because every time there's always going to be something new coming out about these two that is like Family Guy. That's new. Being under others, that's new. Being 7-car convoy in New York City, that's new. Some things are recycled, but that's my point is that they put their own selves in their own lives, their own reputation on the line. They don't need the help of us. Okay, I got our body in there. Okay, here we go. So, I do sometimes think that, you know, like one of my subscribers said, she stopped watching certain channels because it goes into You know, and I get it. And sometimes I'll be listening, and then all of a sudden I'll just like, okay, I don't really care. I don't want to hear about this. This has nothing to do with anything, and move on. I tend to like to listen to things such as what you hear me play. Those are my deep dives. Those are the things that I think that affects her in a sense where it ruins her reputation. I believe the reasons why I said the things I said about Meghan is the reasons why Americans don't like her. Because she went on the Oprah show, because she called the family racist. And it took some of us a while to realize that, she's lying. She's saying these things to promote herself and trying to defame everyone else. I mean, it take a minute because you want to give her the benefit of the doubt. But now that you know, you're like, whoa, okay, this person is who she says she is. So the verdict has been out about who she is. And I don't think that her reputation can take another hit. Like, say, for instance, if she did not have those kids and she had them as surrogate, I don't think her reputation could take that type of hit. I'm just saying. Now, I have been hearing little things here and there that's been going on with her, such as her and Harry are separated. You know, okay, so they're not going to come out and tell us that. They're going to keep hiding it from us. They're going to keep pretending. Guess who pretended for 7 years? Jada and Will Smith. They pretended for 7 or 8 years that they were a couple and ended up they were not. So it's like one of my subscribers said a long time ago, it is easy. It is easy to pretend. Obviously. Because Meghan knows without Harry, her reputation is gone. The only reason we cared about her is because she married a prince and that she was in the royal family, that she was rubbing shoulders with William and Catherine. But now she's not even doing that. And truth be told, don't nobody care no more. The fame, the excitement about her being in the royal family, the excitement about her marrying a prince and all that other stuff has faded. It no longer is like, oh, wow, guess what? No, it's like, ooh. What was it? John Kerry. He's a Republican. He's not a Republican. He's a Democrat. John Kerry. I know I'm saying his name incorrectly. But he said that he felt sorry for Harry. I used to feel sorry for Harry, but I don't anymore because he's had an opportunity to shake this. But if he wants to stay in this dead ending relationship with this woman, then hey, I can't feel sorry for you anymore. I can't defend the fact that she did all this to you and that you wasn't a part of it. Oh no, you're just as guilty because you stayed in it too long. Okay, so guys, I'm just having a chit chat with you guys. This is me just blurting out stuff and just giving you my first thought, my first intro. So since I'm 8 minutes in, let me stop talking and let me get down. I think I have 3 different videos that I would like to go over. Now, one person that I'm going to allow us to listen to is Candace Owens. I am not a fan of hers. I'm just putting that out there right now. And for me to be giving her, putting her on my platform. Hold on. Sorry, my screen was dark. That's better. For me to put Candace on my platform is big because I have, you know how you can hit disinterested in things and unsubscribe and just rid yourself of a person because you don't want to follow them anymore. But that's what I did to Candace because I said the reasons why I don't agree with her politics. I don't agree with her. I don't agree with her, but I agree with her on Meghan and Harry. And so, here it is. I got to give it to her because she said some things that I think you guys need to hear. And it's important because it affects Americans. And I think the biggest revelation for me this week and this weekend is that I believe that UK is starting to see that Americans are not supporting these two. We don't support that. And nor Democrat nor Republicans. And I think it's being more clearer now since Family Guy has said something. I don't know why, because every time that a comedian says something about Meghan and Harry, the UK is kind of shocked or gets. I'm sorry, that's my thingy. Anyway, they talk about it like they're surprised that Americans have decided that, okay, enough of this. So it shouldn't be surprising. I don't know why it is. I mean, I'm an American. We're talking about it. And I'm not the only American channel out here that talks about her. There are more and more channels that do. They just don't have a focus point, which is I talk about her all the time. And basically, my job is to tell you the latest that is going on with Meghan and then to report how I feel about it. And so I am not down with the Family Guy. And so neither is a lot of us. So we're going to talk to the Sussex squad. We're going to talk to the non-Sussex squad. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hold on. So while I'm looking for my video, we were supposed to go to Six Flags and take a little bit to see the pumpkins and paint the pumpkins and do the rides and stuff. But it was too cold and too wet today. And I don't see it being better tomorrow, but I hope so. And we'll take her. She dressed up in her costume outfit. She was so adorable. So we'll redo it again tomorrow. I wasn't able to take her anywhere today, so I'm a little disappointed in that because it is the weekends and I like to take her places. So anyway, we have tomorrow. Moving on. Since I mentioned Candace first, let's get to it. This is her on GB News, GBN, and I'm back on there, which I'm disappointed in myself, but I have to bring you guys, you know, my take on it. And unfortunately, Dan Wootton is gone for whatever reason, and I just still think it's a bunch of hogwash. That's why he's gone, okay? I think there's a lot of jealousy, but I liked him, okay? And I liked him because he allowed his opinion. Moving on. Let's go.
Has America had enough of whinge and ginge, do you think? Should they come back to the UK or stay where they are?
They asked Candace that. The whinge and gin. The blame and the blamer. The blamers, add that to it. Because they blame all the time. Should they go back to the UK? I'm going to answer the question. How I will answer it. No. She's never going back to the UK. It's funny how they mention that as if she's going to pack a bag and go back. Meghan wouldn't go back to the UK unless she lost everything. Everything. All connection, all cut off, all connection and everything. She would come crawling back then. But as long as she's got Malibu and LA and those few celebrity friends that allow her to tag along with her and show that she belongs in this circle, she's staying right over there. She's not going anywhere. That was her purpose. Her purpose in life was to be over here with the celebrities. I hope this is the whole thing of what Candace said about Meghan. So I hope so. But no, they should not go back to the UK. First of all, the UK don't want you. And you haven't admit fault. You haven't apologized to the people that celebrated you. How can a whole country dislike her? I know why. How about calling their queen racist? Let me tell you something. Meghan ruined herself when she, and I'm going to keep saying it until everybody is saying it. Meghan ruined herself when she called the royal family racist. And then when we found out, well, we knew then she was lying. And then receipts started coming out. And then Harry started backtracking and all this other stuff. But and then they went and picked up an award. A whole award. She got dressed up and thought it was a good idea to go get on an award after their family invited her in and let her be a part of this dynasty, to go pick up an award to be nasty to the royal family. Instead of just saying, Karen, no, I'm not going to pick up an award. I think it would be distasteful because they are not racist. Meghan ruined herself. The dust is still settling from that. Okay? No matter what she does, no matter what she touches, it's going to turn to dust. It's not going to turn to gold. It's something beautiful like a flower, because that's not what she possesses. She possesses other disgusting things. Meghan is about selfie, and more self. And no matter what charity program or charity outing or what her Archie Well website says, it's a facade. It's a fake life facade. And us to believe that she's about giving, caring, and loving, and family, and mental health, and all of that stuff, when she has caused so much damage within her own family. Now, I could see it being her being all these things, this great person, this great humanitarian. If we did see some type of apology, I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood. I didn't mean to call the family racist. I meant to say it was unconscious bias. No, Meghan is waiting on an apology from King Charles so that she can look like she wasn't lying. Like, it wasn't me. See, King Charles apologizes. Well, that would be the end of King Charles. No. They haven't done it now. Why would they do it? They haven't done it. They haven't done it in 5 years. Why would they do it now? No, Meghan thinks she's running this. For some odd reason, a little birdie sat on her shoulder one night and said, "You got all the power. Now that you got Harry, you can have him do whatever you want him to do, and then you can get whatever you want." And since she thought that, this is what it has become. She's the laughing stock of Montecito. She's the laughing stock of the United States. She does not represent anything but herself. Anything. She was never going to represent us. If she was, she would have did what she said she was going to do when she wrote all those letters to King Elizabeth, talking about how she was going to hit the ground running and use me how you want to use me because I'm here for you. And then 2 minutes later, she gets on Tyrus Perry plane and says, "The hell with this." And since then, what has she been doing? Since she's been over here, what has Meghan's ultimate goal, ultimate thing to do? What is her life's dream and journey and goal and everything she lives for? It's almost an obsession for her. Because she's not listening to anyone. She's not listening to South Park, Family Guy, none of her critics. And they're loud, but they're messing with her. We're messing with her. So when someone says, "Ooh, maybe she should do this and maybe she should do that," we're messing with her. We're messing with her. We're messing with her mental health. We're trying to tell her what to do. We're bullying her. We're doing this and we're doing that. No, we're just telling you how it is, and then you can ignore it if you want to and keep pretending.
I'm a big believer that this issue can only be solved if they agree to move to Canada. I don't think that either America or the UK should have to put up with this any longer. There's no question that their stock has degraded very quickly over time. You know, the press was very favorable to them when they first made the move, and I think that
Candace told them they need to pack their bag and go back to Canada. And I would have to agree, because Canada accepted them for the most part. They did. She went to Canada, but Canada said, "We're not paying for your..." And what a great place, Canada. Why not do Canada? Canada is more like a small, quiet, not, there's no celebrities going on over there. There's no royals going over there. It's just Meghan and Harry. Because when they were transitioning from Mexico to California, it was kind of quiet a little bit. No, she was still loud. I wasn't on YouTube then, and I wasn't following her, so I didn't know a whole lot until I started learning more and more about her after the Oprah show. But let's move back. No, I think Canada is a great spot to raise the kids, to live a quiet, small life. Quiet, small life, and do charity work and help out others, and maybe try to mend some of those personal relationships that she scrubbed away for the kids' sake. And then we will probably start seeing, oh, she's changing, something's happening to this person's personality, that she is aware of her surroundings. She is aware of what's going on. But Meghan is not about that. Meghan is trying to be a star. She wants to be, and she's all over the map. But before I get to the map, Candace, that was a great idea. Go to Canada. You started there. That was a good small place. Whatever. But no, she can't do that. And no matter how much she fails, or how much backlash she gets, or how much Spotify let her go, they talked about her on the way out. No matter how bad her resume is and how bad people see that they think that she is, she does not care. She thinks mingling with the high society and doing charity work is going to bring up some type of wonderful status for her. And I think that she's just appealing to this small group. I don't think that group is big enough. Like, no, you need to reach back and reach some people that you lied to, she needs to reach us. The ones that cared about her at some point. Meghan's whole ambition, her whole world is sitting around being in California and everybody praising her and making her this queen, and her making a lot of money, a lot of money, and having a lot of power. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know when you have failed, I guess you're going to have to continue to hit the bottom of the skid. Because each and every day, it's a continuation of how her brand, Meghan's popularity, and Harry are just continuing to go down. No matter Invictus, no matter what they try to do that's charitable or great or good in mental health and all this other stuff, the verdict is out. And this is not how you change the project. You don't change it this way. You're not going to get popular because the Sussex Squad is saying, leave her alone. No, what you're going to do is just piss people off and go after you and say, leave what alone? Oh, okay. So did she leave Charlotte alone when she was putting her in a book about a dress? Lip gloss? Tiara. Baby braid.
That can largely be contributed to what was going on politically at that moment. It was the rise of BLM. Meghan was very happy to use that to her advantage. She sort of, really for the first time in her public life, was talking about how Black she was. And she used that to rather disgrace.
Candace said all of a sudden she started to embrace her Black side. When she started, that was like the perfect time to start talking about how Black she was when she was married into the royal family, because before then she was white. Meghan didn't have no Black friends, and that doesn't make her not a Black person, but Meghan considered herself white. On her application, she put white. When she had friends, she hung out with, she was not Black. She didn't associate herself with Black people. The first time she experienced racism was in the royal family. And that wasn't even racism. That was some stuff that she conjured up in her head. No, she does not know. And that's why Don Lemon came out and said, oh, that's the first time you felt like you were black? In other words, that's that stupid stuff. And I like what he said too. He says, just stop talking about the royal family. And she finally stopped talking about them, but they still talking about the royal family. And little digs and little papers and little articles and little stuff like that. They continue to do it. They can't help themselves. Because every time Meghan feels like she has to defend herself, she has to blame somebody else on it. When has she took responsibility for anything that she's done? Sussex Squad. When has Meghan has admitted any accountability in anything in her life? It's always someone else's fault, blaming someone else's fault on if it happened to you. It wasn't your fault that it happened. It was their fault because it didn't succeed because of you, because of them. COVID got in her way. I dare say she said Philip got in her way because she doesn't care. Certain things you don't say and certain things you don't do that you know people care. You know when people care. You don't need to act it. You just, it comes natural, and she doesn't. Well, my kids are very young. Fortunately, all these people have lost someone. Fortunately, I still have my child. Fortunately, they're young enough that I don't have to deal with what y'all dealt with. That's what she said in New York City in my mind. Why would you say that? Well, fortunately, my kids are not your kids. Fortunately, I live in a castle and you don't. Fortunately, my kids are surrounded by, and they're so young. No, they're going to grow up and they're going to realize what people are saying about their parents. Constantly. And they're going to wonder, is it true, Mom? Is it true that you call Grandpa and Grandma racist? And then, Daddy, did you really write this book about your brother? The backstabbing of it all, the nastiness, the jealousy of it all, the whole what were they thinking? They need to go to Canada. People are kicking them out. Candace is kicking Meghan and Harry out of the United States of America. I didn't tell her to go to Canada. I just agreed with Candace. But Candace is telling you, Meghan, that you need to pack a bag, you and Harry, and y'all need to get to Canada quick. Because no one is letting up. Because as soon as Family Guy say something, then you bring out the big dogs. You bring out South Park. You bring out Candace. You bring out Megyn Kelly. You bring out all the other people to talk about it. Meghan is having a very difficult, hateful time right now, and I'm sure she's just sick. I would be. I'm the butt of jokes again, and I just did all that charity work. Oh, God.
Her new family, and to say, well, this is why I'm moving to LA. It's not because I'm a D-list actress who's been desperate my entire life to make the A-list, but now
of whinge and
let me just let you hear her whole
speech. Do you think? Should they come back to the UK or stay where they are?
I am a big believer that this issue can only be solved if they agree to move to Canada. I don't think that either America or the UK should have to put up with this any longer. There's no question that
she said that. I'm sorry, catch it. She said that we shouldn't have to put up with them too any longer. You know what? Sometimes I used to think like I was like this mean person when I would talk. No. Candace just told them, we shouldn't have to put up with you two anymore. We're sick of you. Get out of our country and move. She kicked them smooth out of the United States of America. She didn't tell them to go somewhere here and just be quiet. She said, go to Canada. Get out of here. We're sick of you. Sorry, I had to say it again.
Their stock has degraded very quickly.
Your stock has degraded. Your stock has, the Duke and Duchess stock is at a penny stock. The stock is no good. It won't hold. You won't get a return on your investment if you invest in these two. Spotify, Netflix, Kelly, anyone. The only people that may have it something is the Kardashians. And even then, Meghan and them are looking for some money. And the money that they are trying to get from the Kardashians and the rest of them, they will not get millions. She's not going to get $1 million for doing an episode.
Over time, the press was very favorable to them when they first made the move.
While Meghan and Harry had this crusade going on that the press hated them, hated. Like Candace said, they had the most favorable press at the time. You had every news outlet trying to get to the wedding, trying to get in front of them, trying to see what these two were about and giving them positive reviews. No. And you I don't care who you are, you're gonna get it from the press. I don't care who you are. You're gonna get the truth. You're gonna get backlash. You're gonna get roasted. You're gonna get talked about. You're gonna get scrutinized. You're gonna be in the news. And even if you don't want to hear about yourself, you're still going to be in there because you put yourself in the front.
I think that can largely be contributed to what was going on politically at that moment. It was the rise of BLM. Meghan was very happy to use that to her advantage. She sort of really for the first time in her public life was talking about how Black she was. And she used that to rather disgrace her new family and to say, well, this is why.
Disgraced her new family. This is where Harry pisses me off. Because he is supposed to protect his family from any outside foreign interference. And she was obviously that outside foreign interference coming in, wreaking havoc on each family member. And he protected none of them from her. He blamed them. He did exactly what Meghan told him to do. It was Catherine's fault. It was William's fault. It was the Queen's fault. It was Philip's fault. It was Camilla's fault. It was King Charles's fault. It was everybody's fault except for Meghan's. And Harry sucked that in and allowed her to mistreat his family and his country like it was nothing to him. Nothing. Shame on you, Harry, for allowing her to manipulate you into doing the unthinkable.
I'm moving to LA. It's not because I'm a D-list actress who's been desperate my entire life to make the Black she was. And she used that to rather disgrace her new family and to say, well, this is why I'm moving to LA. It's not because I'm a D-list actress who's been desperate my entire life to make the A-list, but now I can blame it on racism and not on the fact that I'm a
Now, I love it. She said, I'm going to dump all this stuff and blame everybody else instead of my own reasons why I'm coming back to LA. She dumped on her family, her in-laws. This D-list actress dumped on her in-laws to get herself and play the race card. Play the race card. She can't play it with me, or maybe she can. Is she white and I'm being racist? Or is she Black today? I'm going to rewind that. But no, like she said, I want to rewind it. And I'm sorry if we're breaking it down.
To rather disgrace her new family and to say, well, this is why the press was very favorable to them when they first made the move. And I think that can largely be contributed to what was going on politically at that moment. It was the rise of BLM. Meghan was very happy to use that to her advantage. She sort of really for the first time in her public life, was talking about how Black she was. And she used that to rather disgrace her new family and to say.
The reason why I think this information to me is valuable is because this is how Americans feel. At least some of them. At least I do. What she's saying, she's on the money. And this is what Meghan did. And she just summed it up really quick. And she didn't talk about no curtsy. She didn't talk about anything. She talked about the facts. She talked about what Meghan actually did. And what we see over here, period, is what she's doing. And it's the con and manipulation of it all. But you pretend that you're Black, and then you use that against your family, your in-laws, to come over here in LA so you can start your brand, because you were a D-lister in Canada and you wasn't over there with Oprah and Tyler Perry and all of them other people. You didn't even have their phone number. Now all of a sudden y'all best friends, and you don't know any of your old friends because they're not A-listers. They mean nothing to you. That's how you know someone's heart. If you stay humble while you're poor, then you can be okay when you get rich. You don't lose yourself and think that you're entitled and become something new.
This is why I'm moving to LA. It's not because I'm a D-list actress who's been desperate my entire life to make the A-list, but now
desperate all my life to make the A-list. Thank you, Candace. No, I don't care for Candace, but here we are. Desperate all your life. What have we been talking about on this channel? The very thing that Meghan is trying to do and try to be is going to be the very thing that destroys her. That's it. The very thing that she is desperate and just has to have it. Like if she doesn't get it, it's WME. What are they for? The people that before her. Look at her lifestyle. Look at what she's doing. Look at the patterns of how it's all about her branding, all about being at the top. If it is not getting up here, then Meghan does not care. She doesn't care about the surrogate stuff. She doesn't care about the way she dressed and people talk about it. She don't care. She doesn't care about. What she does care about is when you talk about her character. I do. I wouldn't care. Everybody ain't gonna like what I wear. Everybody ain't gonna like my hair. Everybody ain't not gonna like my style. So, but when you start hitting my character and start talking about me as a person, and that's how people are seeing me, that I'm all about branding, because when Oprah asked her that question, she got highly upset. And she said, what sense does that make, Oprah? Oh, there they go, blaming it on Megs again. She got real defensive and real angry, and Oprah kept asking the question. She was like, yeah, And then they also said, this is Oprah, and they also said, yeah, the reason why you wanted to come over here is so that you can brand yourself and that you can be in Hollywood. And to be honest with you guys, I did not know at the time that that's what she was trying to do. At least I don't remember. Because I don't remember Oprah asking that question until, a year or so later. But my goodness, isn't that what she's about? She separated herself from her husband's brand. He is the brand. Subscribers, one of you told me Harry is the brand. He is the brand. Without Harry, who the hell is she? What is she outside of them? What has she done in the last 5 years that has separated herself from Catherine, William, and any of them over there? Excuse me. What has she done in the last 5 years to separate herself from her royal husband? Because I don't care what you say or what you do. People want to hear from him. not her. That's why the microphone at Kevin's place was supposed to go to Harry, not her. We don't want to hear what you have to say. You just stepped on the scene, you D-list person. Now all of a sudden you got something to say to the world? No. You made yourself popular by marrying into the royal family, and it has gone straight up here, and you have lost it. You have forgotten what family is about. You have forgotten what people's feelings are about. You don't care about nobody but yourself because it's all about Meghan and her brand. And then once you reach that brand level that you're trying to get, then what? You're going to look back and the people that you love is gone? She's not even trying to fix that relationship with King Charles and the family. No, she's talking about another memoir. How dare you come out talking about yourself again? You're not ready to do a memoir because you're still glowing in the blame game, and we're still writhing from Harry's spare book. You were in there. You are not ready to write a real book. Because when you're ready to write a real book, you're going to take some accountability, and then we'll be like, oh, look what happened. Look what happened. And you will sell millions. That's when I would do a memoir. Because right now you ain't got nothing to say because you're talking. And that's why Candace is kicking you out of the United States. Okay, let's move on.
I can blame it on racism and not on the fact that I'm a shrewd businesswoman, which is what I think she ultimately is.
Shrewd businesswoman. She treated her relationship like a business deal with Harry. She did not treat it as a marriage, as this, oh, look at me and my husband, and we're going to live happily ever after. She didn't use it like they were going to become this power couple over there in the UK. No. She used this for her own. She's a shrewd business person. She said it. Tom Bauer has said it. Spotify has said it. How many more people? Okay, don't listen to the airwaves if you want to, businesses. And I heard Spotify, not Spotify. Audible ain't doing anything with her. And thank goodness they can be Markle like the Royal Rogue said if she wants to be. No, careful with your brand. Now, if you don't have one, she would be the person. But if you wanted to go to another level, you might not want to use her because it's only going to go so far. And if you up there already and you use her, your brand is going to come down. Don't put her on no commercial with no perfume talking about Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, perfume. Yeah, okay. Watch how that sell out. And I love when they put, oh, her clothes is selling out. First of all, you didn't make enough. And number two, so I wasn't one of them. Who cares? I think that that's a bunch of hype. Put her on some Dior stuff and see how it sells.
But there is no question that the appetite for Harry and Meghan has completely collapsed over time. I can tell that just in my show. And I can tell it just in my reaction to it. When I see a piece of news about that.
People are done. They don't want to talk about Meghan and Harry anymore. They don't want to give them any accolades on their platform. She's going to break down on her platform how they don't even want to hear what she has to say about Meghan and Harry anymore over here. They're not newsworthy. And then when they keep talking about them, people get upset and be like, you know what, why are you talking about them? And then they have to stop. That's how bad their reputation is. Even if she's getting bad or good publicity, it's all bad because people don't want to. And I know that didn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I'm just not inclined to click it anymore. And so when something happens and there's a story and people say, do you want to cover it? My producer pitched it to me a couple of weeks ago. I said, fine. And the numbers were horrible. People didn't want to watch it. They felt exactly as I watched. We're just sort of tired of it. We get it. You're a victim. You're never going to stop being a victim. Woe is you. Best put in Candace. When I and not on the fact that I'm a shrewd businesswoman, which is what I think she ultimately is. But there is no question that the appetite for. And so when something happens and there's a story and people say, do you want to cover it? My producer pitched it to me a couple of weeks ago. I said, fine. And the numbers were horrible. People didn't want to watch it. They felt exactly as I watched. We're just sort of tired of it. We get it. You're a victim. You're never going to stop being a victim. Woe is you. Best put in Canada again.
Woe is you. You're never going to stop being the victim. She's never going to stop blaming everyone else for the things that her and Harry does. Now, all of a sudden, the Sussex Squad thinks she's a victim because of Family Guy. Well, no, she's not a victim. She's a part of it now. She's a part of the whole part of being scrutinized for being a public figure. If she didn't want to be a public figure, then she should have got somewhere and sit down. You know what I'm saying? If she want to live a private life, do what Candace said and go to Canada. But do not be upset when you get markled or whatever you call it, like roasted, because you opened the door for that. And the royals would have been able to sustain that and keep your reputation squeaky clean. But you left the firm. No, Meghan wanted to have one foot in and one foot out. She wanted all the perks and all the glory, all the benefits of being royalty, but she did not want to play the game. And so when she decided to leave and she didn't want to be a part of that anymore, she left and said she was going at it alone. But then as she was complaining about how she wanted to go in at it alone, then they got on TV, started talking about how they got kicked out of the firm and no more money for them. Oh, they took our security. They took our money. You put in bold writing that you were going to fend for yourself. And if you didn't have a plan at the time, then why put the statement out? We didn't know what we were going to do. This is just stupid stuff. First, they tell us they had this plan for months on the docuseries. Remember that? They had a plan for months, and the royal family already knew that Meghan and Harry was ready to go. They knew that. That's what they told us on the docuseries. Flip it over. He tells us on the Oprah show that they didn't know what they were going to do. They didn't have a plan. They didn't know where they were going to go. And they just left out there. They just knew that they had to get away. That's pretty much how they portrayed it on the Oprah show. So that's why, because Harry says it. He said they took security, and so we didn't know what we were going to do with that. So that's why we signed up for Netflix. No, you signed up for Netflix because you needed the money to live in Los Angeles. Stupid. No. You got a plan because you told them you have been planning for months for y'all leaving. And then you really didn't have a plan because you got on the Oprah show and said you didn't really know what you were going to do. And then they just stripped you from everything. And that was a lie. You had money. And if you didn't, then what the hell was you leaving in the first place for? No one pushed you out the door. You did that on your own. You decided you and your Jezebel was going to get up and leave because of whatever reason and cut the umbilical cord and say, I'm going to do this by myself. I know. Shoot. Woo! Okay. Yeah. Cut the cord. We got this. We're going to do this on our own. Tyler Perry, come pick us up on your jet and put us in your house. We got this. No, y'all had all this together. Then they get on the Oprah show and act like we didn't know what we were going to do. We had no plans. We had no goals. And that's why we don't like them. I'm sorry. They are fake, fictitious, and funny. And if Family Guy was to get real and play a real scene, because there's some stuff you can, oh God, do that one. Show that. Show Meghan them talking about how they plan to do all of this, and then all of a sudden they get on the Oprah show and say, we don't know what we're going to do. We were lost. We were just, we just had to get out of there. No, you're making it up as you go along, and you're sounding stupider as you go. And then receipts get to coming out how really bad you were. And you know what? I do believe that we're not even getting the full story of it. I think we're just getting bits and pieces of what she really has done. Because they have buried that bully allegation over there in the palace. But they wouldn't be able to bury me if I was one of the maids. Because I would be like...
Is my stance.
I think it's the climate hypocrisy as well, though, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to take lectures in somebody who decides to take private jets to and from a polo match and then take a private jet to a private island where billionaires go to escape millionaires, and then turn up at the Formula One where, very, very rich people pump diesel out of the back.
No, they want to be billionaires. They're setting the scene. They're telling you, we're going over here because this is where we're going to be in a few years. But Spotify and Netflix has already told us, no, that's not where they're going to be in a few years. And if they don't get some deals quickly, they're not going to be able to come back to this island. They're faking their facade. They're trying to make themselves out to be this big, they're not relatable. Like he said, they're going to go hang out. This tripped me out. They're going to go where billionaires go. They're going to go where Oprah go. Not that they can't go. But the point is that they want to relate to people. To me, that's Meghan setting the tone. She's letting you know, I'm not going anywhere, critics. This is where I'm going. I'm going over here to this island. And that's what Family Guy was showing us after they went over there to that island, put the millions over there, and then let me post this while they sipping on whatever they doing. Nothing. Telling the truth. No, Meghan's trying to tell us a story. I believe she's trying to say, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be like Oprah them. I want my own jet. I want my own stuff. She thinks she's entitled to it. But we are going to have to buy her stuff. We're gonna have to invest in her. We're the people that's gonna make her rich.
The cars, etc. I mean, why should we have to listen to this kind of hypocrisy?
Yeah, no one wants to listen to hypocrisy, and that's the truth. Is for them, this was just a brand decision, to appeal to the far left, but they don't live in any capacity like the far left. That she wanted to.
I hate the labels, the far left and stuff. Who is them people?
We just care so much about our family, which is why we are disgracing our family. It's utterly hypocritical to do something like that so publicly. It should bring them shame. Yes, they're talking about the climate. They're perpetually flying around private. Their friends are sending them their private jets. They live a very exclusive life in the most exclusive community in California, and they're looking to outreach and buy property all around the world. They're definitely not concerned about their carbon imprint, but if they get on stage, they'll definitely encourage you to be concerned about yours, even though it's much smaller than theirs. And so they are elitists. I think for Harry, it's all he's ever known, so he might not even recognize his own hypocrisy. But Meghan is using it just to pledge herself into certain social circles. She means nothing that she says.
I think the problem with Harry is he genuinely just doesn't.
Meghan is just trying to do it to thrust herself in social circles. She doesn't mean what she's saying. She's just trying to thrust herself into them Richie rich circles for whatever reason, Candace. And she does not care.
Realize how thick he is sometimes and the kind of things that he says.
All right, guys, that's it with that. This one was an hour. I'll do another video. I'm going to hang this one up and do one more. I'll post both. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Candace review on Meghan and Harry. And then I'll come back with one more. This is going to be the Sussex Squad. Kisses to all of you. Don't forget to hit like, hit share, And share is going to get me to my 3,000. That's why I say hit share and hit like. Thank you and kisses. Have a great Saturday. But I'll be right back.